And me and Pizzola were wrong before.
And you're going to be real wrong on this one. Alt up Green Bay.
How did I get sucked into this? I don't even like Jacksonville. I got sucked into this.
I don't know why were you guys.
Yeah, that's what happened when you got tied up in the basement, Rob. Now you pick Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm dead. I'm dead this week if the Jacksonville doesn't cover 4.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog. Week 8 best bets. Let's go. You sub to Mayo Media Network right now. If you do that, you're in a draw for $500. So you might want to do that. We'll announce the winners on next week's Spread Picks show. Cam and Rob, both on the line. Guess what, guys? We swept the gold picks last week.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good news.
Yeah.
I'm still mad at Pizzola's doppelganger, McDaniels. I hate that guy more than anybody right now.
Okay, we're going to dive this conversation every week.
We are. They're coming off a bye week, and they featured Jonnu Smith and Ingold. Thought the guy was supposed to be smart. He's a moron.
The guy, Huntley can't throw the ball. These guys suck. What do you want these guys to do? The quarterbacks suck. They suck.
Come up with the plan B, as I said before. But anyway, we're not going to get into it today.
Okay.
He's a clown.
All right.
Well,
disagree.
You guys both took Seattle as your gold selections.
Yeah, hey, there we go.
Yes.
See positives. Yay.
And that came through. I took Washington. That was over within like 5 minutes, and their starter went down.
Pick.
So that was great.
Yep.
Baltimore, for me, was the only silver winner. Minnesota and San Francisco were losers for you guys. The Jets and the Dolphins were losers for Cam and I on the bronze. But Houston, at the very last second, comes through.
Good call.
For Rob as the bronze pick. So
he deserved it.
We had a very
cover the whole game. They should have won that game.
We had a very poor start to the season.
They had like 197 yards of offense last week.
Yeah, they were really
they won
bad.
the turnover battle by 3, and they barely covered. That was the worst pick I've made all year. That one.
I don't know.
But I'll let Pat do the 2024 record for us.
Yes. So I improved to 5-2 with the gold. Rob is now 1-6. Congratulations. You are no longer winless in the gold pick selection. Cam 3-3-1. Overall, I'm back to 500. I've rallied back to 10-10-1. Rob, you're a game below at 10-11. Cam, you're 6-14-1. But I think like 8 of those were Panthers picks, so you can't take anymore. So you're basically 500.
I got to be honest with you. This is the worst season of gambling. I look at that record. I feel sick. And I'm just watching games too. And the way I lose these games, like that Miami Indy game was fucking torture.
Yeah.
It was torture. They had 2 fumbles inside the 5. Like, I'm like, what's going on here?
And they kicked a field goal off the upright.
Yeah, off the ice. Sanders, he's another guy. Like, honest to God, man. Anyway, stay tuned.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with it. Nobody likes a quitter.
I hear you. There's some games that you just handicap correctly, and you have to accept the result. And Miami was a great pick. Win or lose, there's games
great
where
pick is a strong word because I didn't win the bet. But it should have won, but it didn't. But it counts as a loss, so it doesn't really fucking matter in the long run.
You just have to accept that there's games where a bunch of bullshit happens.
I'm on them all,
and you lose.
Yep.
But then there's games like where you like me, where you pick the Carolina Panthers week 1 against the Saints, and you just got to say to yourself, "I'm an idiot."
Yep.
There's those games too. Yeah.
Panthers suck.
You know what we also won for the second consecutive week?
Teasers.
The teaser,
baby. Some guy played all of Cam's teaser plays.
Yes, he did. And it won. The 12-banger won. I know. I'm telling you, it was amazing. He didn't care what he did. Crossing numbers, doing whatever. Who gives a fuck? Just win. You know what the funny thing is? I didn't even play. I talked about it. I played like a little one. I hit a touchdown prop with running backs. And I see this guy tweeting out. I'm like, those were the picks we gave on the show. You got to play them. It's like somebody, they buy a lottery ticket and you don't do it and they win. Like, you're just going to I feel like putting my head through a wall. I'm an idiot. And by the way, Pat, one more thing, and then I'll shut up. He's fucking one of your listeners like, hey, man, for the entertainment, I'll send you some money, Venmo. I'm like, we don't have Venmo in Canada. Crickets. You can send it other ways, too. You ever heard of Interact? Just send me the damn...
No, they don't have Interact. They don't have Interact.
Well, send it to me on PayPal. There's something that works in North America.
Yes.
Now, don't just quit your donation because we can't have Venmo. It's illegal in Canada. We don't have Venmo.
Yeah.
Venmo, Venom, whatever the fuck it is. I don't have Venmo. What is Venmo? I don't have it. Don't know it. Don't have it. Never heard of it.
Do you think that Crooked Tillery gets a sack on Thursday night, Rob?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No,
Yes.
I don't think so either.
I like the Rams on Thursday.
See, you and Cust. Like, I can't, like, let's talk about that. Let's briefly talk
Not
about Thursday
again.
night football.
Me and Maggots are on the same games again. See what he did to my Jets play on Sunday? By the way, Pizzola,
Oh
I
my
don't mind
God.
your take on San Francisco, but don't say I'm not going to have sacks or you shouldn't deserve to have sacks. And, you're betting against Kansas City. You went too far. Like, I'm looking at this guy's tweet going, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like,
let me explain that because it's gone over your head. So,
it did.
There's a guy on Twitter, George Riley Panagakis, GRP wins. And a few weeks ago when Detroit played Dallas, he filmed a video after Detroit smoked Dallas and said exactly what I said in my tweet. If you bet Dallas today, you've lost your mojo. Call in sick at work tomorrow. Don't show up because you're going to say something that people are going to think worse of you. If you have a wife or girlfriend, tell them you can't have sex tonight. You can't perform.
Well,
I just took that exact same tweet.
Doesn't matter if I lose bets. I can perform. I have to show up for work to get paid because I'm a freelancer.
Yeah,
so everything this guy says is bullshit.
Yeah, he was joking.
Yeah, it's bad joke.
As was I. But also, don't bet against Mahomes when he just has to win a game.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Stay tuned to the show.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to Underdog right now and use code Mayo, you get a free pick for Thursday Night Football. You'll get a Matthew Stafford free pick to add on, and I ended up going with Sammy Scrambles, not scrambling on Thursday Night Football, Rob, lower than his rushing total of 14.5, and I just took Cooper Kupp higher fantasy points of 13 because he's going to have 38 targets in this game.
Yeah, provided I don't know what his usage is going to be, but
playing.
if he plays,
he's playing.
Yeah, I would tend to.
I don't understand why the Rams are talking like this. Have you seen the records in the division? Like,
yeah, but
they're talking.
They're bad.
I understand it's
they're
a contract.
bad.
It's like I at the start of the year, their wins under. I thought they were bad. I'm just saying, obviously, it's a contract thing with Cooper Kupp, and he's hurt all the time. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, I think so. So you play that at Underdog right now, and if you add on if you use the 2, it's 3 times your money. You add on that free pick, it's 6 times your money. Code Mayo at Underdog right now. About the Thursday night game, we don't do the Thursday night game as a part of our picks. However, you like the Rams, Cam, and Rob, that does seem to be the quote sharp side. I don't see how this line is so low. I don't care if I'm Stevie Square. I'm hammering the Vikings.
So I'm in between you guys. I'm not betting the Thursday night game. I think kind of 3 is a fair price in the game.
You get
Minnesota
2.5 if you want it.
You could. Here's the thing. Minnesota plays like almost exclusively zone defense. They're the highest in the league, 86% of snaps. They don't leave their corners one-on-one. Stafford is the best EPA per play in the league against zone last season. He's top 10 this year, even though he's had offensive line injuries and wide receiver injuries. He historically cooks zone defense, and Flores is not going to change that. He doesn't change on a weekly basis. So that's my worry. I agree with you, Pat. Like on the surface, I don't think highly of the Rams. I still think the Vikings are solid. They lost to Detroit last week. Detroit's a very good team. What are you going to do? But I don't know. 3 seems like a fair price to me. That's what. Yeah.
I just want to say one thing, and Morency brought up in the show last night. Every team that played Detroit, every team that has played Detroit the week after has gotten murdered.
Oh, so do they put the voodoo hex on them? Is that what happens?
No, they just play a physical brand of football. We talked about it on the show, like the Ravens used to do. Remember back in the day, you'd play the Ravens, you were so beat up the next week, you'd lose it, you'd get absolutely murdered. Detroit is a very physical football team.
Well,
like their coach.
If we're going to use weirdo, useless betting trends, I have 2 for you then, okay? How about this? The Vikings are 7-1-2 against the spread in their past 10 regular season road games, and Matthew Stafford is 1-7 on Thursday nights against the spread as an underdog.
I don't really care about trends. I was just making a point. It's kind of a weird one, but
what was the point? If you don't care about trends, what was the point of saying it?
I just think it's very interesting that every team that plays Detroit loses after. It's not going to affect the way I bet the game.
How about this? The Vikings have the number 1 defense per DVOA. The Rams are 28th.
You want to double your bet with me?
Sure,
you want me the Rams?
Listen, yes, absolutely. I would love to give you the Rams.
You don't owe me $50, but put $50 on it. No, there's no spreads. There's no money lines. Whatever.
No Asian handicap.
Yeah. No Asian handicap.
No Asian handicap. Sure, I'd love plus 3.5, but I'm not going to get it. I'll take the 3. That is the spread. $50. You win. You get your money back. If not, you owe me a smooth brown one, and you can send some more meats in the mail.
There we go. Rob, I did have a VIG question for you. What is a better price? Plus 3 at even money or 2.5 at minus 110?
I have to. So technically, it would depend on the total in the game as well. Nobody ever tells you that. So +3 even money, or two and a half,
or is it's +3 or sorry -3 even money or -2.5 -118.
Okay, now it's different. -110 would have for sure been better. I still think the 118 is going to be better. I'm just running it in my database here quickly.
The over being 48.
-2.5 -118 is slightly better. Slightly better than -3.
So tell me how you do that with your database. You just throw in these numbers and it automatically tells you what juice bet is a better percentage? Is that what you're telling me?
In Excel, you can program formulas in, Cam. And they save.
I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't even know how to do it if you taught me. I just I write things down on paper.
You would if you tried. It's not a conversation for here right now. There's a few ways you can do it.
No. But you're right. Maybe if I put my mind to it, but I have a lot of other things on my mind, and I don't have.
I understand.
But hey, I'm actually impressed. It does all these things. It's just because people talk about their databases. I'm just kind of like, what can it do other than like have sex? Like it sounds like it can do anything. Make you a martini. I know honestly, like people are talking about these databases, and I'm like, and they're breaking down some real serious shit, and I'm like. Well, how can it do that? But anyway, you put the parameters in the program, I guess, and fire away.
This isn't an official announcement as of yet, but I do have some inside info on this, Cam. You know the big one and done we do for golf at the beginning of the second week of January?
Mm-hmm.
Going to be $1 million in the prize pool this year, guaranteed.
Oh, you put me in for a couple entries then, Pat. Maybe more.
Well, it's going up to $250 an entry here, so it's
if I win this week, I've already got $100. I'm almost halfway there.
Yeah, you push it forward. You keep beating me in bets, and I'll pay your entry for
50,
you.
100. Just take care of my golf entries, Patrick. That sounds amazing.
Anyway, I'm excited about it. When we first started this, it was on an Excel sheet in like 2017. Yep. Then we got it registered, and we were like, hey, well, 1,000 people playing this. Now we're gonna have $1 million guaranteed. It's crazy.
Golf is. People don't understand, like they do Survivor in football, big deal. Golf survivors are amazing. Like they're amazing. If you're into it, like it's just, I find it like a wicked sport for that. The cut sweat on Fridays too, your guys lingering, like I find it fascinating. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that'll be up on fantasygolfchampionships.com if you're looking for it, the race for the Mayo Cup. But we're here to talk football, some gold picks. I will kick things off. And let's see, what's the best number you can find on Denver right now, Rob? Because I'm seeing 10.
You're just betting against Carolina every week. Like the guy who won the super contest. He goes, how'd you do it? I just took New England every week when they were good. Just covering every week.
Yep. I see 9.5 -120 at FanDuel.
Yeah,
which is better than 10 -110. So you got a 9.5.
All right. As people who watch the spread show know, I made this my super lock at -9. And then as we were doing the show live, I heard about the Andy Dalton car crash where we didn't know what the extent was. And it was my logic of, well,
is he okay?
If he has a sprained thumb, and Bryce Young is starting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
So
Bryce Young.
I'm like, I thought he was going to be like in the hospital or something.
No.
Sprained thumb. That's very lucky then. Okay.
Yeah. So if I can bet it at 9 right now, there's a chance that Dalton, like I want to bet -9 against Dalton anyway. If Dalton doesn't play and I get -9 against Bryce Young, this is going to be like 13.5 by Sunday. So give me Denver -9.5. Just bet against Carolina every week. It's working.
I have no argument. I'm pretty sure that the team said Bryce Young is going to start.
He is.
Yeah,
He
is
starting.
There's an announcement.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not arguing with you. A lot of people are, I think they look at Denver in the wrong sense. This is the argument last Thursday night. It's like, how can Bo Nix possibly be favored by this amount of money? Well, Bo Nix is not terrible. Bryce Young is beyond terrible. Bo Nix can move the ball on bad defenses. He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to make like a stupid overthrow in the field or whatever. But I don't know what the path to success for the Panthers is anymore. They're just too hurt everywhere. Often, and one of like Dalton couldn't survive behind this O-line anymore. You're going to have Patrick Surtain back for Denver. He's going to be on Deontay Johnson. They have no other receivers. I'm with you, Pat. It's a Denver or nothing. And I actually still think the price is short. I agree.
Yeah, I think this number, Cam, is going to get out of control by Sunday.
It's Denver or nothing for me too. Like you look for excuses to take Carolina, you can't. Denver's defense at home is pretty good. Rob's right about Surtain. The guy's one of the best in the league. Like Denver has a very, very good secondary.
Like I don't see why this game is any different than the game we just saw last Thursday night. And Denver's coming off extra rest too.
Denver's going to win this game like 24-6.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
That's the number I got. Yep. Off the top of my head.
Or Dalton might throw, or Bryce Young might throw a pick 6, and it's like 33-6 or something.
I actually think Denver will score more than that. Carolina's defense is terrible. Like Mariota just scored 40 on them.
Yep.
Marcus Mariota. Like, no disrespect, but the guy's been a backup for a long time now. He's serviceable backup, don't get me wrong. But he put up 40 on them. They have no one. They have nobody left. I think Denver might score even more than that in this game.
Yeah, they are on pace to have a historically bad defense. 32nd against the run and 31st against the pass. That's pretty impressive stuff, Rob.
Yeah, it's not going to win you football games, but they're playing for a draft pick at this point anyway. Season's kind of done for them no matter what. Broncos found a running game too. Javonte Williams has been much better the last 3 weeks or so. It's just Carolina's in another league of bad right now. Like there's bad teams. They're in another league of bad.
They need to be investigated. Their owner's like worse than the movie Major League. They're trying. It almost seems like they're trying to.
But he's trying to win though. Is the problem?
That's the thing. It's the problem is when ownership gets involved, because they could have drafted C.J. Stroud last year. And listen, Stroud's not having a great year. Part of it's the offensive coordinator. Part of it's injuries on offense. But they could have had Stroud instead of Bryce Young. But the owner stepped in and said, no, we want Bryce Young. And it set the organization back like another 3 to 5 years now. It's when ownership gets involved. Look at all these teams. Look at the Jets, right? Look at the Cowboys. Ownership gets involved. Yep. It's a problem. Get the owners out of here. They don't know what they're doing.
Do you have a gold pick, Rob?
I do.
Oh,
it's the worst. It's very ugly. But I'm taking the Giants plus 6.5.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah. Listen, everything went right for Russell Wilson. I mean, listen, he put up good numbers against the Jets, but when you look at the context of that game, if Garrett Wilson doesn't have a ball bounce directly off his chest into Steelers' hands and returned, we could be looking at a Jets blowout win in the game instead of the Steelers blowout game. Completely turn things. All these passes Russell Wilson threw were like these 50-50 jump balls that just caught everything. And this was with so many injuries in the Jets secondary. They're missing 2 corners. Sauce Gardner got hurt in game. They lost a safety in game as well. Beat up secondary. I know the Giants aren't good. I know that their left tackle, Andrew Thomas, is out. They're going to struggle, but it's not them that has to win by 7 points. It's the Steelers offense that has to win by 7 points. The interior of the O-line for the Steelers is bad. They get Dexter Lawrence on the other side, the biggest disruptor of nose tackle in the league right now. It's just too many points for me, honestly. It's too many points. This is, you want the Steelers in these close games, underdogs at home. You don't want the Steelers when they have to win by 7 for you to win your bet. So give me Daniel Jones, who I don't think has ever won a primetime game in his life. I'm not exaggerating. I don't know, but it's too many points. Give me the Giants, 6.5.
Yeah, the problem, I wasn't going to put it on, I like the Giants side. If there's a side for me in this game, Cam, it's the Giants, based on like a lot of what Rob said. Just the pressure they're able to generate with their front 4 could be somewhat mitigated if the running game gets going. But, it's Russell Wilson now in his second start coming off of a big layoff. And he didn't really experience that much pressure last week for an offensive line that's still not all that great, especially with pass blocking. But my worry betting against Pittsburgh in this spot would mainly be the Giants' offense. Like, will they score more than 6 points?
Yes, they will.
I think they will too. The Steelers play a lot of cover 3. Not that Daniel Jones is like Cook's cover 3 defense, but he's fine against them. He's like average, 46% success rate. It's a lot of short passes. They bog down in the red zone, but they play slow, methodical. They're going to try to get it out of his hands a lot quicker this week. He was holding the ball way too long against Philly last week, and he got crushed by doing so. I don't have high hopes for the Giants offense. I don't think their ceiling is very high, but I also don't think the Steelers offensive ceiling is very high. And they're also a team that when they get up and in front, they play very soft defensively as well, which I think could work to the Giants' favor if they're in like a backdoor situation as well. So too many points for me, honestly. I think last week's results have really skewed the perception of these two teams.
Cam, gold pick for you.
I'm sticking with it. No, not the Panthers.
The Titans.
But I'm actually thinking about it, but keep on going.
Who
No,
else?
don't take what I wanted to. I don't want to give you any other suggestions.
Taking the fucking Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
I found a 3 on FanDuel.
Yep.
I don't give a shit. Arizona, big. This is what they do. They play a game and Kyler Murray ran for touchdown. Then they shit the bed for a couple of games. So you know what? Give me fucking Miami. Okay, I'll take -3 in this game. This is a bounce back spot for the Dolphins. And if they screw it up again, shame on me. I love Miami this week.
Yeah,
I found a 3.
Yeah,
and that's no bullshit.
This feels like a Miami wins by 30 or loses by 30 game.
Well, by 30 then.
I bet Miami alt -10.5 this morning. I like Miami. I think there is quarterback coming off an injury. It does. They tend to play worse in their first game back, but Tua is such an upgrade over everyone else. He can actually throw the ball downfield and get the ball out of his hands quickly. It's night and day. And Arizona is not good. Like, I know they beat the Chargers, but come on. Like, Herbert was throwing all over the field with no receivers. It was Chargers classic self-destruction in that game. I'm with you guys, Cam. I like Miami quite a bit this week.
Thank you.
Do you think the Chargers get hurt by actually having a good kicker now? That they're like, oh, we can actually send out our kicker for a 55-yard field goal.
Dicker the kicker, yeah. And we talk about this on our show. Harbaugh still like manages the game like it's a Big Ten football game. He doesn't give a shit about spreads, anything. Just win the fucking game. And you know what? When you kick 5 field goals in the NFL, you're going to lose to teams like the Chargers. That's kind of the problem.
Yep.
He's got to get a little more aggressive.
They should have won that game. They were moving the ball at will, couldn't score in the red zone. They don't have the weapons to do it, but Arizona's defense doesn't generate pressure. They lost their best defensive lineman in terms of generating pressure to injury this week. They just don't have the horses. Like, what would this game have been going into the year? Miami at home to Arizona.
6.5.
Yeah. 6, maybe
7.
Something like that.
Anywhere between 6 and 7, I would say.
Because Miami and Buffalo were kind of rated as equals going into the year, and Buffalo was 6.5 at home to Arizona week 1. I think, I mean, if they don't get it together, I can't bet Miami again.
Yeah, this is it for me.
This is
Miami
it. This
doesn't
is it.
cover,
This is
my last stand with Miami. It took me too long with Carolina. They don't cover this week. They're dead to me too, and I won't bet their games.
Yep.
Pretty simple.
For almost about 2 decades, the irons were really the only good part of my golf game, unless you include 300-yard drives, which meant hitting it about 150 yards straight and 150 yards with slice into the woods to the right. So I finally went and got lessons, straightened out my swing, and all of a sudden I could drive the ball pretty decently, pretty straight. And then my irons just kind of went wayward with the new compression that I was getting onto the ball. So it was time for me to make a change with my irons. So when I heard about the new PXG Black Ops irons and how they can dramatically improve my game, I had to give them a try. Booked a fitting with the PXG location, brought in my current irons, and took the PXG challenge. The staff was amazing. We worked on my ball flight through TrackMan in order to find the perfect irons and the perfect length and the perfect loft for what my game demands these days. And the new Black Ops irons are incredibly easy to hit, they maximize performance, and they're fun. Oh, and they're only $149.99 a stick. That is a great price for a great golf iron. So take the PXG Irons Challenge. It's a ton of fun, and if PXG's new Black Ops irons don't outperform your current irons by delivering either more distance or tighter dispersion, that means better accuracy, during your fitting, you'll get a $250 MasterCards reward card. Hurry, this offer ends October 7th. Book your fitting today at pxg.com. That's pxg.com. Silver selections. Rob, do you want to lead this one off?
I do. I'm taking Jameis. Plus 9.5, minus 115 at FanDuel. Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Ravens. Will fully admit the Baltimore Ravens are a great football team. They pretty much score on everyone. I think Cleveland's D will have some success, get a few stops here and there. But the handicap here is that the Cleveland offense is just going to be so much better with Jameis. Like, it's night and day. Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, these guys are complete scrubs. Deshaun Watson took 33 sacks this season. And offensive line injuries, I get it, but Wyatt Teller's probably going to be back on the O-line for Cleveland. They will have their starting O-line in all likelihood for Jameis this week. The Ravens secondary has given up 34 completions of 20 or more yards. That's the most explosive pass plays in the entire league. They're probably not going to have Marlon Humphrey this week. I don't think this is the right number. I can't get here. Too much value. Give me the Browns getting the points at home.
I like it. Do you think that they were saving these O linemen to come back until Watson got hurt? Like they were like, no, you're still hurt. You're still hurt. Give us another week. And now that he's out, it's like, oh, yeah. Well, our offensive linemen are fine. They're coming back this week.
I love the theory, but Wyatt Teller was on IR, so he was not eligible to come back until this week. So they weren't saving him. He just couldn't actually come back. But listen, I'll pay to. Jameis will take shots on a secondary that's given up shots all year long. That's what I'm hoping for. And behind a good O-line, they got Nick Chubb back. They'll get him integrated into the offense a little bit more. Another thing, the Browns defense plays the most man of any team in the entire league. That's their MO. Lamar Jackson, much worse against man coverage than against zone. I think there's a lot working in favor of Cleveland. Honestly, I might even be talking myself into betting some money line on Cleveland this week. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I'm with Cam. This is an instance where I will 100% say that the backup is much better than the starter. Winston, huge upgrade. Huge.
We think.
You can't.
It's fact.
He could play terribly, Pat, and he's still an upgrade.
Doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah. Watson was the worst. Watson was worse than Bryce Young this year. That's how bad he was.
Yep.
Well, for my silver, I'm going to stick in the AFC West, and I just won money on this game, albeit at a much lower spread 10 days ago when Denver shellacked the Saints. I will take the Chargers on a short week, -7.5 at home against the Saints, Cam.
You know what? I like it. The Saints are going to be a public dog. People are like, how do the Chargers cover by number? But this is the exact game they can do it. And I think their offense is going to figure it out this week. I think their defense can shut down the Saints and put them in bad spots. I will not be surprised if the Chargers won this game between 11 and 14 points.
Or more.
I agree with the pick.
Like Olave is going to be back for the Saints. That's great. Spencer Rattler's starting again. Derek Carr is not going to be back for another week. And we just kind of saw how you beat the Chargers or how you beat the Saints. And it's exactly what the Chargers do. They want to just jam the ball down their throats. Arizona did a good job at stopping J.K.
I need
Dobbins.
the Saints to lose every week. Like
well,
every
even
week
if they lose, if they
season.
lose every week, Cam, I'm still going to win our bet.
What was our? Oh yeah, the Asian Carolina bet. Oh yeah, that's done. Yeah.
They have 2 wins. That's too many for Carolina.
But they'll have a head-to-head where Cam can possibly get some sort of random swing if that works out.
That's true,
right?
I don't think so. We have 1 win.
One more.
Nah, we're done. But anyway, that's fine. Bad pick on Carolina at the start of the year.
But Cam, you also bet futures.
Go under 7.5.
Yeah, exactly. You bet futures.
That is one of my biggest bets. And if they win 8 games, I'm fucked. So
yeah, I don't mind. Chargers. I don't mind the Saints as much when Carr is back. Like it's not that Spencer Rattler's like the absolute worst, but Derek Carr, as we found out with quarterbacks
playing, right?
so far, no, Carr's not playing. Rattler's
playing this week.
Oh, Rattler's in. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Carr will be back next week, and he is the epitome of competent from what we've seen from some of these starting quarterbacks this year. Like Derek Carr on 12 of these teams would make them instantly better by a pretty substantial margin.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would agree with that. Only thing that bothers me about this game, by the way, I will not bet the Saints. It will only be Chargers or nothing, is just the scheduling spot. The Chargers get hosed like this all the time. I know Feinberg gets really upset about this, but how many times do the Chargers get the Monday Night Football game and then they get a team that's playing off extra rest? It's actually happening to them again later this season, I believe against the Chiefs as well, where the Chargers have a short week. Historically, a really bad spot to bet a team when they're on short rest against the team on extra rest. But I'm with you. I think the Saints just have too much to overcome here. O-line injuries. They're missing corners now. It's a broken team. Spencer Rattler is a one-read quarterback. He locks onto somebody. If he's not open, he's going to eat a sack or he's going to make a mistake. I could only bet the Chargers in this game.
The Saints, as we saw the Broncos expose them on Thursday night, the 31st ranked run defense. And that was the one thing with Arizona. Why I bet Arizona on Monday night was pretty good run defense. And we saw Herbert throw it all over them, but they just couldn't punch it in. And their running game couldn't get off the ground. I don't think that's going to be a problem, Cam, against the Saints.
Nope. I think they're going to run wild all over them and go Chargers. That's for Geoff and my future. So I hope they murder these guys. Carr, just take some more time off. Don't come back for like 3 more or 4 more.
Get healthy. Get 100% before you're back, Derek.
He'll be back now. He'll be back next week.
I hope not, but probably. Yeah.
He's throwing in practice this week, although they've already said that Rattler is the starter. So that would lead me to believe that he'll be back in a week's time.
Fair enough.
All right, Cam, silver pick for you.
Okay, we're doing this. Yep, we're doing this. Yep. I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders against the Chiefs. I love this narrative this week. Oh, the Chiefs getting better. Throwing more money on my money pile, my future bets, blah, 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 blah. I get it. The Chiefs are the best team in football. I'll admit it. Did I bet the 49ers like a stooge last week? Yes. Did I expect Brock Purdy to throw those interceptions? No. Did I expect Deebo Samuel not to play? No. But here's the deal. The Raiders always play these guys tough. I don't give a fuck. And when I see Patrick Mahomes doing his little stupid dance around the sideline, I want somebody to put him on his ass, and I want him to stay down. Stop letting this guy run the show. Stop being friendly to this team. Pretend you hate them, okay? Mark Andrews and fucking Baker Mayfield are best friends. They don't even tweet each other during the season. This is football. This isn't tiddlywinks. Raiders, come out there, and I want to see every Chief on his ass. Hard. Give me the 10 points with the Raiders. Divisional game. I'll take it. This is going to be a shocker. The Chiefs are actually going to win this game barely. Like, I think they're going to win by like 3 points. It's going to be a dogfight. Maybe I'm nuts. I am nuts, but I don't care. I'm taking the Raiders.
I'm glad you took the Raiders, Cam, because it spared me from taking the Raiders as my bronze. I did wake up on Monday morning to a calendar reminder that I had set 3 months ago, which said, don't bet the Raiders this week, in brackets, Kermit the Frog.
Kermit voice. It's the Kermit voice narrative of the week. Don't bet on the Raiders.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Cam, but in the offseason, the Raiders had a Patrick Mahomes Kermit the Frog that they were parading around at practice, doing not a great idea. Not to mention, they basically celebrated like it was it was their Super Bowl when they beat the Chiefs last year. This is very narrative-y. I am betting the Raiders this week, but I am scared to death of the situation where they may have fucked around and they're about to find out. I think it's too many points, though.
My point is this. I don't care if the Chiefs hate the Raiders. Their goal is Super Bowl or bust. This is just another team on their path to success. They're not going to do anything differently, whatever. The Raiders hate you, whatever. But the Raiders hate the Chiefs more than any team in the league. And if they're going to play a damn good football game, especially on the defensive side, it's going to be this week. Yep. All we have to do is ask Minshew to not do dumb things. Yes. I'll take field goals. I'll take any type of points. We're getting 10.
Oh, Antonio Pierce will take field goals for sure. No problem. He's the guy that loves to take field goals.
Anyway, you got to make Mahomes if we get some turnovers in this game, I feel very good about this bet. And I think they're going to hit Mahomes a bit. That's it.
Do you think that we'll see recently traded for DeAndre Hopkins suit up, Rob?
No. I do, but I think he'll be very limited, like something like 15 to 20 snaps. They'll probably look to get him like a touchdown, a targeted play. Maybe. Honestly,
they did that with Amari Cooper last week with Buffalo. He barely played, but it's like, no. We'll get you a touchdown. Don't worry about that.
I did love that he dropped the first ball that was thrown to him. I'm like, here we go, Amari Cooper. But yeah, I think they'll have some scripted plays for DeAndre Hopkins, like a quick screen, get him involved a little bit. I just don't think he's going to be playing the majority of the game. I'd be surprised if that happens.
I think it's a nice move for them. I don't know if he has anything left in the tank, but it seems like a pretty low risk opportunity to cash in on someone who, listen, he claimed before the season that he blew out his ACL, yet played through it anyway. So I don't know how healthy DeAndre Hopkins is, but there is a time that you see with a lot of these guys, and I think Amari Cooper was suffering from the same thing, and probably even Devontae Adams, that they still have the skill when engaged. They were just in a situation where it was just like, fuck this. This is horrible.
I think with the cap space the Chiefs had, that Hopkins is the best player available for them. Best option for someone who has some pedigree. He could be completely washed, but you take that type of risk. And when they get to the playoffs, they'll get Hollywood Brown back in all likelihood. They'll have a pretty decent, the Chiefs do this every year, right? Like we have the same conversation about them every year. They don't look right. Offense is broken.
Their defense is amazing.
But they just win the Super Bowl. Like it's the same story. So it reminds me, and sorry, Cam, for picking on you earlier about the KC San Fran thing.
That's fine. I deserved it, I guess. No, I'm never on the right side. And here's the thing. Kansas City's a great team, but it's also the benefit of all the other teams fucking around. Like it's unbelievable how much luck, like they just always find, I don't even know how to describe it.
I know how to describe it. I know how to describe it because I did the same thing for all of Tom Brady's career. I sat here. I'm like, the Patriots are the biggest luck box, except for the year where they had Randy Moss and they were
but remember the time we had the Giants in the Super Bowl? I made a fortune. They were 14-point dog.
We bet against them the whole year, and we went 5 and 11 against the spread because we're like, Patriots are overinflated. I'm done with that. Good quarterbacks, and I know his statistics this year are not the best, He shouldn't be the MVP favorite, but these guys know Brady, Mahomes, they know how to win a game. Period. They just get it done. And I'm done with fading these guys when they just have to win a friggin' game. Until
now they got to win by 11.
Exactly. Different story this week. Different situation.
Wish I got more points, to be honest with you. You know what the funny thing is? So everybody loves Kansas City and it's stuck at 10. It isn't even moving to 11. That makes me like the Raiders more. Just saying.
When the Raiders kick 5 field goals, and that's not, I mean, 5 might
That's
actually
it.
be
You know what?
enough.
Then just Kansas City, you scored 24-15 is fine.
24-15 is great.
That's
beautiful.
Perfect. Thank you. Final score 24-15. I win by a hook and another hook.
5 field goals does seem a little bit. You mean a point, Cam? 2 hooks?
Yeah, 2 hooks. 2 halves equal a 1. That's correct.
2 hooks equals a point.
Yeah, 2 hooks equal a 1.
Yeah.
Half a half.
I could just see them like laying the absolute smackdown on the Raiders here.
Oh, that's within the realm of possibility.
The Chiefs could win by margin? Yeah, they might win this game by 40. Yeah, I don't care. I'm taking the Raiders plus 10. It's a divisional game. They get up for the Chiefs. That's it. Like, honest to God, like, if I see a scenario where Kansas City wins 55-10, I'll go, hey, way to go, idiot. You did it again. But this is my spot. I'm picking with it. I'm sticking to it. And this is the week. I screwed up last week. This is the week. Raiders.
Guys, there's some breaking news in the NFL, which I just have to share with you.
Patrick Mahomes is not playing. His wife is pregnant.
It's unrelated to this game, but it's actually a joke. Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey has been selected to be on a 12-person jury for a felony case. He's unavailable because he has been selected for jury duty.
I want San Francisco right now as my bronze pick at -4.
Okay.
It was gonna be my pick anyway. It was them or Seattle, and I'm going with San Francisco. I'm going back to
I gotta check to make sure this is not a spoof.
I don't care if it is. I don't care if it is.
joke?
I don't care if it is, because I was gonna take San Francisco. I have 6 games ranked. It was them, Seattle. I was thinking about Jacksonville. That line's gone down to 4. Whatever. Here's the deal. I'm on San Francisco against your Cowboys. You know what this is called? Redemption week. Every team that fucked me last week is going to have sex with me this week. That's the Dolphins, the Niners, it's the Raiders. And because the Chiefs screwed me last week.
You say the Raiders the Raiders covered last week.
Raiders covered.
No. I was on the Raiders against the Rams. Actually, I bet the Raiders against the Rams. Sorry, it's a foursome. Niners, because the Chiefs screwed me. We're going against them. Okay. 49ers and Dolphins and me. Foursome. Let's go.
That's the force.
Rob, and I will have sex betting because it's not a pick 'em game with Mahomes or whatever. I'm getting 10. Thank you.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the handcuffs.
What about are you fading the Colts? Didn't the Colts screw you?
I'm not laying it with the Texans. I thought about it. I'm like,
I kind of like the Colts there. Yeah.
I'm going to leave that game alone.
I was just, that's going down.
There's only so much room
problem.
in the barn.
I know. I was going to go bronze Colts potentially, but there's no 6s left. It's all 5.5 or 5 now. Got beat down today. Someone smashed the Colts.
Anyway, I want San Francisco regardless, Pat. I hope this story is true, and I hope Aubrey has jury duty. It sounds first of all, this story's made up. He said, you're thinking NFL kickers got jury duty.
That's what I'm saying, but it came from Nick Harris.
Yeah, Fox and Yahoo are both talking about it as well.
Well, it doesn't matter. I've already bet San Francisco at 4, and I'll take it again.
Like he's their best player. This is going to be tough for them.
This is amazing.
They cross midfield and they're in range for points every single time.
Here we go. Who's gonna kick? Prescott or who's their punter?
Well, I'll assume that.
No, who's their punter again? I forget who's there.
Their punter's Brian Anger.
Oh, yeah, right. Anger.
Yeah, Brian Anger. I assume they'll sign a kicker. Like some kicker probably got released this year who stinks, right? There's free agent kickers available.
Oh, they're everywhere.
They're all over the place.
Rob, someone asked me this the other day, and I didn't know the best place to send them. I know where I look stuff up, but where is the best place to look up EPA per play and things like that?
Okay, so there's
my toilet
backs don't matter. So RBSDM. Running backs don't matter. RBSDM.com.
Running backs don't matter?
Yeah, it's the abbreviation. So RBs.
I got it. I'm just saying some do. Some do.
I agree with you, Cam. I don't believe all running backs don't matter.
I think that's a bad blanket statement. Some running backs do make it.
See, I think it makes a difference. It's an interesting discussion to have because I saw Giants fans being like, "Oh my God, Saquon ran all over us. Why did they let him go? The fuck would Saquon be doing for the Giants right now? Nothing."
Agreed. In some
I agree with you.
situations, they don't matter.
Yeah.
Listen,
For
like,
Philly, he
McCaffrey-
matters. For
McCaffrey matters to every team.
But McCaffrey didn't matter.
does.
McCaffrey didn't matter on a shitty. If he was on this Panthers team, they wouldn't have any more wins.
Yeah, right.
But they wouldn't have any more wins, but he would
They
still
might have covered
matter.
a few times.
Like
Maybe.
if McCaffrey was out, I would move the Panthers a half point in market.
Sure.
I don't believe running backs don't matter. They just matter minimally compared to other positions. That's where I would say
The offensive
more-
and defensive liners, that's what matters.
oh yeah. The O-line skill position, like cluster injuries are
Yeah.
big. If you have two people down at the same position, that matters. Yeah.
So you like the Colts this week?
I do like the
I-
Colts this week. Although
I
don't.
I
like them at
originally liked
6.
Houston, but then I'm like, you know what? That's too many points.
So for my bronze, I've been wavering here. I kind of like the Jets against the Patriots. I just don't know what the
So do
Patriots
I.
do. And eventually the
I like
Jets.
the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks against the Bills.
No,
And I don't think a lot of people are going to
Seahawks outdoors. Give me a break. They're going to be terrible. Gino will throw.
Yeah,
a
Gino
ball.
outdoors.
Gino
You need
outdoors.
Gino indoors like last week.
Everybody just shut up. We'll see.
Gino's indoors. Gino indoor king. Gino's indoor numbers are Peyton Manning, basically. I'm not exaggerating. Outdoor, little different story. But
I get it. I just think Seattle could play with Buffalo. That's all.
I need to see if DK. I don't think DK is going to play, right?
No, he's
No.
not. Who cares? Chenault.
I
I
would care. Yeah, I guess if you're going to turn to LaVisca Chenault and Jake Bobo, it's going to be an issue. I think.
They're fine. That Bills secondary can get carved up by Bobo. That's Mr. Burns' bear. I miss Bobo. I love Bobo.
I was.
Bobo.
Wasn't it
Caught me out.
Mojo?
He was, went to the
No,
yard-
Mojo's the
Arctic,
monkey.
yeah.
Mojo was the
Yeah,
helper
Mojo.
monkey.
Mojo's
Yeah,
the
Mojo. He
monkey.
goes, pray for Mojo.
Pray for
Remember?
Mojo.
That's when Homer adopted the kid. I love you,
I
Betsy.
named my first cat Mojo after Mojo, the
Oh.
helper monkey.
I used to work
Yes.
for Mojo Radio, talk radio for guys and cool chicks.
And I still say pray
Remember,
for
Rob?
Mojo in my regular day-to-day life.
Wait,
Pray
wait,
for Mojo.
Wait. Well, it was for guys and cool chicks. So like uncool
Yeah.
chicks were not allowed to listen.
No, they weren't because they're just a bunch of Karens. They can't listen to our channel. We're having fun. Those were the days when we could actually have fun on the radio. Like me having chicken wing contests at 6:00 in the morning. Andy Frost was there. We had good times.
Who is
man.
Andy Frost?
I don't
you
know. One
Andy
of the best
Frost was-
classic rock DJs
Yeah.
in Canada, man.
He used to be the voice of
the
Leafs. Yeah.
Great. So this sounds like
He
a very
are-
this sounds
he-
like a
he-
very
he-
this sounds like a very local thing to you guys.
Oh, it's not local at all. His kid plays for the fucking Philadelphia Flyers, bro. He's the real deal.
Well,
Anyway, I don't want to
Frost.
get into this now.
Oh, no, hold on. You said he was a DJ on Toronto radio and the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Why the fuck would I know who that is?
I don't know because you're a smart guy.
Because
Everyone knows Andy Frost.
I didn't move to Toronto until I was what, 25?
I don't know, Pat.
I would say-
if I
listen, I'll defend
if I
Pat here.
wasn't from Toronto, how would I know anything about Toronto? When-
I will
in the
defend Pat.
90s,
Famous guy.
when there was no famous guy like locally.
Rob, you
that's
got to
great.
defend me on this one. He's a well-known guy.
I'm defending Pat here. Because listen, like I'm sure there's some big disc jockey in Vancouver.
Taser when I need him. He ain't fucking Campbell.
No.
Wait,
This
you think
is
this guy's like
ridiculous.
Howard Stern or something?
Kinda. No, not really. No, just a great DJ. That's all. He spins tunes.
He was Q107, no?
That was like
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we had
He's
Q104 out
perfect.
here. Like, tell me what you guys know about Harv Stewart.
Whoa, he's a Stewart.
Distant
He's gotta
relative
be
of
all
Cam.
right. I want to know Harv Stewart. That's what I want to know. Is he my long lost uncle and does he have money?
Well,
And does he bet on the Panthers?
Harv Stewart has passed away, maybe from betting on the
Oh.
Panthers too much. I don't know. That I cannot confirm. However,
Anyway,
he was the guy on Q104 out here. I wouldn't expect anyone not from this city to know who
the
that
only
was.
difference is Pat, the guy was the voice, like he was the PR guy for the Leafs and did a lot of their stuff too. He's just like voicing a lot of commercials and stuff. Anyway, you're right. Whatever, I'm wrong.
Commercials that ran in Toronto?
No, that ran across Canada, but I'm
Really?
not going to get into it. Yeah. He did a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It doesn't sound true.
He's one of those voice guys. Like, Rod Smith from TSN is the voice of I've come into Montana Cookhouse, or you know what I mean? Like that guy's had national.
Yes,
campaigns.
if there's one thing I know, it's voiceover artists that they don't say their name or you can see in commercials. That's what I'm into.
I know them all. That's what I do. Like I just.
That sounds very specific to you, Cam.
Yeah, it probably is.
So Jets, I was thinking about as a bronze pick. I was thinking about playing Washington plus 2.5 in the hopes that Daniels would play Rob. He's
Yeah,
not
I was
playing.
thinking about playing. I was thinking about playing
Bears.
Chicago 2.5 in the hopes
Yeah.
Daniels doesn't play.
Daniels,
I agree with
I don't
Rob
think
on this
Daniels
one.
is playing. If there was a chance he'd
He's
play, this
not.
line wouldn't be 2.5 right now.
No,
You're right.
I honestly think it's. I seriously do think it's closer to 50-50 than people think. I'm going to play the Bears.
No, but you can't. They're having such a good season. You can't screw it up. Remember, this is the same franchise that ruined Robert Griffin III.
Yes, Cam, but
No.
it's the Caleb Williams game. It's
I
the
know.
Jaden Daniels. So here's the thing for me. It's all about timing. If they announce Mariota's going to play, I'm going to bet Chicago at -2.5 here. If Daniels is in, I'll just wait for the line to move the other way, and I'll still bet Chicago. I'm going to be on Chicago in this game.
I actually don't.
I see Denver up to 10 on a few spots.
Yeah,
now.
Denver's getting pounded.
Yeah, Denver, like I said, it's probably going to be 13.5 by the time Sunday comes around because no one will make a bet on Bryce Young. But I actually, listen, I feel confident in Jaden Daniels was playing. I still think that Washington might win with Mariota, only because the one thing that Washington's defense does well is at what absolutely has rattled Caleb Williams so far this season. They're going to generate pressure. They're going to move him off his spot and get him running around. He did very well against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago when we saw him win London, but it was only the bad Josh Allen who was getting after him, wasn't the whole team. He was able to
why don't you take the Bills if it's bad Geno, or take the Jets? They should.
Cam, I'm trying to talk through the games with you guys.
Yeah. So my response to that would be that it's been very different since Keenan Allen has been in, because now they have 3 wide and he gets the ball out way quicker. So the pressure stuff hasn't rattled him as much.
Well, they've also played 3 teams that generate no pressure.
Sure, but look at Washington's D line right now, right? Deron Payne is in. Jonathan Allen is hurt. He's on IR. Dorrance Armstrong was their best pass rusher who they got from Dallas in the offseason. He didn't play last week. I don't know if he's playing this week. Like it's a fair argument. I mean, I'm looking at the splits right now. Caleb Williams is probably the most drastic splits when pressured versus not for this entire season. I don't think it's going to get me off Chicago though. It was a valiant effort, though.
I was going to take. I'm with Pizzola. I kind of like the Bears this week.
And to think about it back the other way, like Mariota we just saw Mariota against the worst D in the league, so it doesn't really tell us that much.
Exactly.
But it seemed like he could run like a C- version of what they were doing already.
Yeah, it was fine, but you can't judge anything after Carolina.
No, but like I always like when the backups can mimic somewhat of what the starter can actually do, so you can run a similar type of offense. And if Brian Robinson is a little bit healthier and they can generate a little bit of pressure, I just think it's going to be a close game. And you still have the out of Daniels playing, and then I really like Washington. Because the Bears are kind of the opposite of Washington, where the rest of their D is really good, but they generate 0 pressure.
What do you think of Tennessee plus 11?
No.
Okay. Well, what other games did we miss?
Oh, my actual bronze pick is Green Bay -4.
Oh, okay.
I get to pick on Jacksonville again because now
I'm not.
Somehow after 2 weeks in London, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna come back and play an actually good team now. Oh yeah, Jacksonville beat the Patriots. Rob, they're good. They're good again. Everyone's back in on Jacksonville. Give me a break.
I like Jacksonville.
Why?
But that's because I'm a psychopath.
Where on the field is Jacksonville better than Green Bay?
They're not. I just like them this week.
But why?
They come back. There's no reason. The number. I like the number.
The number's low. The number's 4. But people haven't. This line is going towards Jacksonville. I don't get it.
I don't have the energy to fight in a court of law. I'm fucking Lionel Hutz. I just think Jacksonville's going to cover this week. Okay. There's no fucking data to back it up. I think Green Bay wins by like 3 and the line's 4.5 or 4. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I don't have a plan. I just saying if you told me to pick the game, I would pick Jacksonville, but that's me.
Take the better quarterback, take the better defense, take the better offense.
What does Rob think about that game? Who would you take if with a gun to your head, Pizzola? Say you're in a basement, you're tied up, say get it right. Who you taking?
I would take Jacksonville if I was tied up.
Why?
You're damn right.
Mainly because they play a lot of cover 1 and cover 2. And Jordan Love has been terrible against both those defenses.
He hasn't been very good, actually. No,
he really hasn't. He's extremely inconsistent. That's the only reason I would. I don't like either of these teams. I don't want to bet either. I was hoping they wouldn't be playing each other.
Be more confident. When me and Rob were on the same side against the Bears on that game on Jacksonville, you made us look like.
I mean, you asked me if I was tied up in a basement, what would I do? Like.
Well, I'm not making it my game of the week. I'm just saying, if you had to pick on the game, who would you pick? I think I would take Jacksonville if some guy said you have to make a bet on this game.
Yeah, the only place
have
where
to bet it.
Jacksonville seems to outclass Green Bay in any metric is on special teams. So there you go. Maybe they can return one, and then that's how they cover
They
the
did
spread
last
here.
week.
Oh, well, they're probably not due then for another couple of weeks.
Probably not. Nope.
Like when they fall behind 10-0 to the Packers this week, like they did to the Patriots, I don't think they're going to rattle off like 30 in a row against the Packers.
It's a tough game. I don't think it's as easy as people think.
I mean,
That's
just give me the
all.
better.
Green Bay might-
Give me the
Green
better.
Bay
Give
might
me the
win.
better coach, quarterback, defense, and offense. That's usually
Fair enough.
hit all four quadrants for me.
I agree. I agree that they have much better coaching, and I just Love has been very inconsistent. He can make some dumb mistakes.
And
this
don't
game.
forget, they just spent 2 weeks in London and didn't take a bye week.
I don't care. I don't care.
But
about
it
They
was.
had the option, though.
Hold on. It was a big deal when they went to London. That was the whole world.
well,
but now that they spent
well,
2
hey,
weeks there and they're coming back now, listen, I want to
The
pick
thing is,
Jacksonville
because
because
it's
it's
not
not
as
a
tough
problem
coming back.
anymore.
damn time.
It's not as tough
but I
coming
never
back
said
this way.
that. I just
Yeah.
wanted Jacksonville against them in the game. I don't give a shit about the travel or whatever. They fly great. It's a 7-hour flight. Big deal. Like a flight from Seattle to fucking Tampa Bay is like 4.5 hours. Like,
Okay, if
what's
that's the
2.5
case, then
hours?
I don't
Sure.
want to hear about these time zone travels ever again.
I don't bring
but
them up
but
in
there's
my
studies on
argument.
this. The circadian
Remember,
rhythms are different going out
My
to that.
arguments suck. I don't talk about travel kilometers. I talk about.
It's been studied though.
times.
There's not an effect coming back. The teams
Yes.
get an option. Jacksonville gets an option from the league. Every team that plays in Europe gets an option from the league,
True.
whether they want the bye week or not afterwards. And all of them are declining it because it doesn't matter. There's
you.
circadian rhythm studies on how the body clock operates. Coming back this way is insignificant. So it's not a thing because it's been studied and it's not a thing.
The body
Going the
clock's
other way.
affected if you stay up all night and do drugs and drink. And not getting sober on a plane coming back from London to Jackson.
Yeah, and having the whole week to come back onto your regular time that you're spending your entire life on.
Thank you.
You guys.
I'm not making the time argument.
Any
Green Bay,
sort
but I
of
agree with you on
bizarre
everything you said
argument
about
to
Green
talk
Bay.
up some shit Jacksonville team. Give me a good
No,
team.
but it doesn't matter.
A good
That's
team.
why I'm just saying it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter at all, is what you're saying. Zero.
I'm saying it doesn't because they go to London and they stay on Eastern time.
Mhm.
It doesn't make a difference for them. They do their meals on Eastern time. They sleep on Eastern time. They do everything.
Then what was
on
then
same
what
time.
was the argument about them going over in the first place?
I
That
don't know.
they are accustomed to doing that travel.
All
It's
50,
very
all,
different.
all 53 guys who were on the team just seems last year.
No, but the coaching,
No.
they've optimized it relative to other teams.
Seems like they have. Seems like they're.
Well, it's
We-
the
we
same
can't-
as
we-
Thursday
we-
night football.
Yeah,
Why
but
do
we
first-time coaches
we
suck
can't
on
sit here
Thursday
and
Night
be
Football?
like, oh, Doug Peterson is the worst coach ever. Actually, he's great at optimization of heart rhythms.
I'm putting down
No.
the gavel. Mistrial. I'm sick of talking about this fucking game. Just take Green Bay. They're a better team. I get it. And me and Pizzola were wrong before.
And you're going to be
Yeah,
real
I
wrong
don't-
on this one.
and-
Alt up Green Bay.
How did I get sucked into this? I don't even like Jacksonville. I got
don't
sucked
either.
into
I
this.
don't know why were you guys
Yeah,
doing
that's
this?
what happened when you got
Anymore.
tied up in the basement, Rob. Now you
I
pick
got-
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know,
You
so I'm
should've
dead.
not-
I'm dead this week if the Jacksonville it doesn't cover 4.
Damn
this week.
right. If the Packers win by 5 or more, you got a bullet in your head. Anyway, who has to take this game? None of us do. But Patrick can, and he made us fools when we were on Jacksonville the last time. At least we admit when we're wrong, Pat. A lot of guys will just go, meh, 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 meh. I'll tell you when my picks are shit because they're shit a lot. Yeah, but it's a tough game,
Well,
in my opinion.
Cam, if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have a show.
I got it. I usually do really well. I'm having a bad. The funny thing is, I'm actually doing well during the week because I bet every game. I don't bet 3 games, and on my 3 games that I'm picking on the show, I'm not doing very well on. Me and Popsicle Peter in a pick 6 were 9th out of like 500 people. Pete, one of our listeners on the show. Never mind. We're in the money right now.
I'm
We're
just trying to
9th.
keep.
We
I'm
gotta
trying to
keep
keep the Pete straight.
Yeah, I thought it was Portuguese, Pete.
Yeah, wasn't there
No,
Pistol
that's
Pete as well?
Portuguese Joe, my old.
There's
tenant.
Pete with the holes as well, the electrician. That guy.
I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I know a few Pete's. My old tenant was Portuguese Joe. He lives in Hamilton now, and he's got a thriving business. Yeah. Anyway, but that's all I'm going to say.
Rob, you actually have to hit us with a bronze pick. Jacksonville?
I know.
No.
You can't
I'm really
take them.
struggling.
You can't
I'm
take
not- I'm
Jacksonville.
not-
You can't-
You know, I won't take Jackson. I'm not. Jacksonville was never in consideration.
I don't even
for
know why I
a bet.
brought that game up now. That was just 20 years of my life I'm not getting back.
What's been
Sorry.
in consideration the whole time has been the Colts,
Mhm.
but I don't like that there's no 6 anymore. And the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. I'm doing the
Good.
Bears.
I like the Bears. Yep.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm teaming up with you, Cam, on this one.
Do it for Bobo,
We're taking
the Bear.
Pray for Mojo. Pray for
Pray
Mojo.
for Mojo. I love you, Pepsi.
Two Two games we didn't talk about at all. I was considering Cincinnati -2.5. That's the side that I like, but I just
tough
couldn't
game.
get there.
Let's not start the Jacksonville. So Pat, there's a guy in your basement with a gun to your head. Eagles are ready, but pass. I lean Bengals, but that is a hard game. Pizzola, what do you think about that one? That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything in that game.
I got nothing either.
Yeah, it's Lions or nothing at 11. It's probably just going to be nothing for me.
Nothing for me. Yeah.
And then
I'll bet the Titans because I'm a sicko.
I actually like the Bucks +2.5, but I seem to be on an island on that one, and I don't like it enough to put my own money on it.
I'm going to bet the over in that game.
Yeah,
good call.
It's just
Falcons can score and they'll give up points.
The Falcons will find a way to keep the Bucks in this game. Trust me on that.
The Falcons generate literally zero
pressure.
They they don't have the receivers, Tampa Bay, but if you give Baker like 5 seconds to fucking throw every time, he's going to find a guy eventually.
Geno Smith could have made martinis, man. He had all day.
Yeah.
He was slicing the dice. Tampa Bay's Falcons defensive front sucks. Yeah. It reeks.
And then Tampa blitzes nonstop and they get no pressure. They just blitz and they never get any pressure either. Well, I think that's going to be high scoring.
Well, it's funny to see, like I mentioned before with the Chargers, where they finally have a reliable field goal kicker. It weirdly forces them to settle for field goals more often than they probably should. The Bucs got into the situation on Monday night when they pressured and blitzed the hell out of Lamar on the first drive, got to him twice. They're like, yeah, we can do this all night. This will be great. They just got torched afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep, they sure did.
Tampa, and they have injuries in the secondary. I think
I like the Falcons a little bit.
No opinion on side. I just think I think over in that game personally.
Teaser? We want to nominate a leg here each? Going for 3 in a row.
How about Jacksonville, Pat?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, if you want it to be your leg of the teaser, you can.
No, I don't. I know. We're going 3 in a row here. We're not screwing around. There's no figure with a gun in the basement, whatever. He's gone. He's left my domicile. Let's go with can we tease up I don't know what to do.
Rob, would you like to? I'll take
Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers -1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good
cool.
one.
That's cool.
I like the Chargers in a teaser. I do.
How about, would you guys do Seattle plus whatever, or are they going to get blown up?
It's your pick, Cam. You can do what you want.
Can't cross over with San Francisco.
You can do whatever you want.
I'd rather
with your
not.
One pick.
I'm spent. I'm on empty. I don't want to even think about it. It's going from 4 to 3. It's no on a set. We're doing 6.5 too, so that makes.
No, we're doing 6. We're doing 6. 6 points.
Oh, six. Oh, even 6.
6. That's right.
Yeah, El Diablo.
Number of the beast.
Yeah, it is the number of the beast. What do we got going on here? Detroit. Could you guys suggest something for me?
I'm going to do the Eagles.
Okay.
Philly up to 8.5.
On a teaser, I think that's pretty good actually. Give me the Colts.
Can you just bet Philly 0 points in first quarter?
Colts teased up.
Yeah, Philly never scores.
What do I get the Colts at? 11.5, or what's the deal?
Just 11. They're
11.
It's 5 now.
You guys like 11?
Yeah, 11's fine. I mean, 11's pretty. I don't want to call it like a completely dead number, but it's usually pretty irrelevant.
21-13. That's 8. 24-13 is 11.
You know what? There's a lot of combinations of 11. You could say that would actually be a push on this number.
Yes.
That is true.
2 hooks. Sorry, 22 hooks.
22 hooks.
22 hooks makes 11.
Make 11. I'm doubling down. More hooks, please.
To recap, I have Denver, the Chargers, and Green Bay, all chalky favorites as my 3 best bets of the week. Rob has the Giants, Cleveland, and Chicago as his 3. Cam has Miami, Las Vegas, and San Francisco. Cam going with 2 favorites this week. Very unlike Cam here as his 3 picks. And we got the Chargers down to 1.5, the Eagles up to 8.5, and Indy up to 11 as the 6-point teaser, looking for 3 in a row. And one of us, Rob, if we can do it, one of us could get above 500 for the year now to battle back. I think we were combined like 10 games under after 3 weeks.
I'm going to tell you guys something, and I'm going to guarantee this shit. By the end of the year, I'm going to be 500 or better. I'm going to make up those 5 games.
Start tailing Cam right now.
You want to make a $50 bet with Pat on that?
I already have the Rams, but if you'd like to do it again, I'm in for more. Got to pay for my golf entry. Remember, Rob? Got to keep on adding those 50s and hooks. 50s and hooks equal free entries.
You got to play
You
it this
done?
year, Rob. You got to play in the
I will.
women's.
I will be in. I will be in. I do get out of bed for $1 million. I don't get out of bed for 2,000, but I get out of bed for
in fairness, first
Rob doesn't hit the
prize
alarm clock for anything less than 250.
first prize is
250K.
not $1 million. First prize is 100K. It's $1 million total.
I'll get out of bed for 6 figures. No
I'll
problem.
hit the alarm clock for 100K.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'll hit the alarm clock for $500 these days.
Yeah.
You want to
I'll
pay
get
me
out of
500
bed
to do a show
on my own terms, though. No 6 a.m. alarm. Can't do that.
I'll do whatever for $500. I'll do just about anything that you would be surprised I would do for 500.
What is the most surprising thing you would do for $500, Cam?
I don't know. Why you ask the listeners? They can put some things together, and I'll see if I'll do it in next week's episode. I'll say yes or no to the list.
All right, we'll put that down in the comment section. We should have probably said that earlier in the show, but
I'd prefer more money than $500, but put some things down and we'll talk about it.
yeah,
So I could be a middleman. Like if people want to send me the 500 just to hold it and offer certain things.
Oh yeah, put it in your safe.
Yeah. You still have a thing with League Safe, Pat?
yeah, I do.
There you go.
How about a real safe?
Put in a League
bolted down?
Yeah, you put it in digital safe.
Digital Safe, League Safe. It's the same thing, but it's easier. People are not going to send me $500 worth of cash in the mail just to hold on to it for them. But they can recommend some crazy things and for $500, and who knows, Cam? You can make like $5,000 next show.
5,000 pounds. No one's going to come rob you anyway because they can't get the fucking safe out of the house. That's the whole point of having.
Well, listen, if someone tried to rob Rob for $500, he wouldn't even get out of bed to stop it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd let it happen. The safe, my safe is actually worth more than the $500.
Yeah, take everything but the turtle. You know what? If you want to come rob me, you get nothing but old CDs. So have at her.
Scratch CDs that skip.
Yeah, you know you get when you rob me, you get
Dinosaur Jr.'s greatest hits.
Yeah. You fucking right, you do. You get crates of fucking 90s bands. Have at her.
See, the problem with robbing Cam is you would get these just giant sleeves of CDs, these books and books and books, but you'd have to find that other thing where it's like the tape that you have to put in to plug into your Discman in order to play them in your car, and that might be hard to find.
You got it.
Cam probably has some like rare vintage record that he doesn't know is worth like $10,000, and that would be the one that gets robbed.
Actually, knowing my luck, yeah, that's the one I'd like give away. And some guy drunk with the needle. Actually, my brother did leave me some Iron Maiden. I do have some vinyl. I should actually. That's the next purchase, Rob. Thank you for reminding me. I'm getting a good turntable with a good.
There you
needle.
go. $500 will get you a good turntable with the needle.
Yeah, you're damn right. Well, I get a Techniques one for about 400 and change for a very decent, respectable turntable. Oh, so tell me what you want me to do.
You want to hear something kind of
dog food?
You want to hear something kind of morbid? My aunt just passed away, and at the funeral, her son brought up this thing where he was still bitter that she threw out his Gordie Howe rookie cards like 35 years ago.
Well, I'd be bitter too.
Like that was
not the right time to bring it up.
That was the only thing he talked about.
But don't touch people's stuff. That's the moral of the story.
He had moved out already, and it was just like, it was in the basement.
I'm gonna throw out these valuable cards. I tell you something.
They weren't valuable in like 1982. People didn't fucking know the cards. No, people didn't know cards were that valuable then. They were putting like rookie cards in like bike spokes.
I did. I put a Wayne Gretzky in my spoke.
Well, so it sounds like you should have known they were worth a ton.
I was a kid. An adult should know better that collectibles are going to be worth
because you wanted to make your bike sound like a motorcycle.
Yes, I could have used like a fucking Gaston Gingras card. Why Gretzky or Lemieux? Like, can I get like a fucking Tim Corn card? Like, don't use All Stars, you fucking idiot. I'm such an idiot. Did it with a Jerry Rice card too. Such a fucking moron.
Yeah. I'm a very big nerd, but I had a binder of Pokemon cards with all the holographics, and it was in my bedroom at my parents' house, and they warned me like 5 times to clear out that bedroom.
See, they warned you.
They warned me. I never did, and they just threw it out.
Did Granny give them a warning? I don't know. Wasn't there. But you shouldn't have brought it up at a funeral. That's stupid. But you know what?
Bad karma.
But in his defense, always deserve a warning before things get tossed. I got warned that something's getting tossed. And that's on you then.
I don't know. It made the funeral very exciting.
Oh, of course. If you're a neutral party there, you probably were laughing your head off. But
I'd be looking for those Gordie Howe cards too. That kid must be in tears. Thing's worth a fortune.
Well, he's not a kid. The dude's like 64.
Everybody needs money, Pat. Everybody needs money.
This was like legit before I was born. This happened.
Even 64-year-old single men who sleep in race car beds, like Millhouse's dad, Kirk Van Houten.
That will do
Can I
it.
borrow a Gordie Howe
Can I
card and a feeling?
And a feeling. You can borrow my vintage set 1 Pog collection with Keenies and all. That's still in
I
the
did a
proper
documentary on
packaging.
Pogs in college, and I won. I did very
Pogs?
well.
You
I
won
actually won a
Pogs?
documentary award. No, I didn't win on
Got
Pogs.
paid in Pogs for a year.
Yeah, no, I didn't get paid in Pogs. I did one, but I actually won an award.
Slammers.
No, Pat, I'll show it on the next show. I won a big plaque on high-rise fire safety in London, Ontario. It's my college documentary, and I did it on a reel-to-reel.
Wow.
You know, with the razor. Yeah.
You think Pogs will ever make a comeback?
No, Pogs suck.
But
I'm not making a
Pogs
comeback.
got banned when I was in middle school because I guess now that
people
gambling
have-
is legalized, that Pogs might make a comeback because they're like, you can't
Yeah.
do this.
Oh.
This is like kids would cry because their parents would spend a bunch of money on Pogs. And they were just shit at slamming, so like they
Oh,
were
yeah.
just fucking
If you
out of it
practice-
right away. You know,
If you
Pogs are a
practice
lot
the slamming
safer
at
than
home,
gambling.
you can make a killing in the schoolyard.
well, we
had,
once Pogs got eliminated, you couldn't bring Pogs to school anymore. We just started doing it with loonies and toonies. It was great.
Hey, Pat, you got money on this women's NCAA golf right now? There's a lot of nice
Sure
matches
don't.
going on. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was thinking about betting the Oregon Ducks live here. This chick's great putter.
She's a great. What's her name?
Romero. Like the old Jays closer.
First
Romero?
name?
I don't know. She looks nice in her outfit, but
So she's hot. Her last name's Romero, and you're betting on her
Oh,
for
I'm just
NCAA
saying, I
ladies
enjoy- I
D2
enjoy-
golf or something.
I enjoy watching college golf. It's I think we should be able to bet on it more. Yeah, she's one up on some chick from Arkansas, Blowden.
Kalea Romero,
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
Oregon women's golf.
There you go. You nailed it again.
Kalea Romero.
Yep.
Looks like a fine lady.
Do you only want to bet on her because she's hot or because she's currently winning?
I don't know. Just watching golf. Like I'm just having a good time. Like it's what we do. It's the only thing that calms me down. You're right, Pat. Pogs they were a real problem back in the day.
Loved Pogs. Pogs were so much
Yep.
fun. And just a
Pogs were great.
What are kids doing now with gambling? Like
drugs.
is there like an
Same
underground
game
gambling
parlays.
market?
Same
Like
game parlays.
Same game parlays.
Yeah. Same game parlays, gambling car. Is there? But the thing is there that one sketchy guy that's still betting with wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Johnny Knuckles type guys with parlay cards?
Why
When we
would
were kids, we used to-
you wouldn't
we got
you
into
wouldn't
that.
have to though. You'd figure out a way to do
No, but
it otherwise.
if you're
I
a
would
kid in the
prefer to do it
schoolyard,
that
you
way
can.
because it's cash instead of
Yeah.
dealing with these books.
yeah, but
There's gotta be a guy that still has an underground gambling thing going
but
on.
kids don't know anything about cash.
No, yeah,
Kids
it's
don't
true.
have cash.
But if you were a kid in the schoolyard and you knew what you were doing, you would just tell your buddies, okay, like put it in on one of the sites and just come show me that it's a real
Yeah.
line, and I'll take the bet.
Yeah, but kids,
Good call.
but kids have no idea of cash anymore. Just to think about like how kids buy stuff on Fortnite or just even off their phones through their parents' account. They're probably putting money on everywhere.
It's true. They use the
Fortnite's
cash
still
to
a
buy
thing?
like coins so that they can use the coins to buy something else.
Yeah.
It's quite a system that they got working here.
Yeah,
Quite a
coins.
scam that's going on in these
Yeah,
games.
trust me, I know about all these things going on here.
Do you?
Huh.
You know,
I don't know.
can you enlighten us about some of these coins?
No, I can't because I'm employed and I'm going to shut up. I hope you guys have a great week. Other than Jacksonville, Pat, and the Rams, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Cam Stewart, you can catch him on Sports Grid and at Cam Stewart Live. Check out Rob at Rob Pizzola and on the Forward Progress YouTube channel where they do watch-alongs of every single game. Although Jeff usually joins him, he would not join for the Monday Night Football game, would he?
He would not. We were
When the
trying to get him in
Chargers are on,
studio.
No. He's too into the Dr. Pepper Crown Royals and all. Gabe was telling me he's got a new thing where he eats like these McCain Deep and Delicious cakes. Too.
That's
And
not
just-
new.
Oh, it's not.
That's
oh, yeah,
a-
no. I didn't know he was so into cakes. I know he smokes bowls, but I didn't know he loved the Deep and Delicious. Very
Yeah.
cheap cake.
It also leads to type 2 diabetes very quickly.
I
if you're
have
not
type
careful.
2 diabetes. The fact that this guy's drinking Dr. Pepper, like he basically.
How did Gabe never get diabetes with that? Like what he was eating?
I
The
told you,
food
he's like Mr. Burns, man. Remember, all the stuff goes through the door, but it just can't get through the door. It's amazing. He's actually one of life's mysteries. The guy plows Coca-Cola, like sweets all the time, chocolates, Dairy Queen blizzards, like. Yeah, and I'm fucking like drinking water and I got diabetes, man. I got horrible genes. And now I might have like anal fissures or whatever the hell it is. No, don't put that. Please don't clip that one, Pat.
Well,
I know
you
we
got
put
it.
a lot of
It's
things
nothing
on
to be
that.
ashamed of. It
Oh,
happens.
or hemorrhoids. It's a problem.
Whatever. Your
Yeah,
ass is cut
anyway,
up.
please don't
It
put
happens.
this one out. Like I talk too much. Just cut my mic. $50 Rams plus 3. Remember, we got.
Oh no,
double
50,
it.
it's $50 to bleep that out now, Cam.
Yeah. Wow. $50 if you want the anal fissures removed, not from your actual ass, but from the program.
That will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. What you need to do is go to underdog and use code Mayo and get one of those free picks on top of it, all right? Smash the like while you're here, and I will see you next time.
That Mayo experience. Experience.